High Five has a weird physical structure. He's like a garbage can lid because he doesn't have a bottom jaw. You know, like, he doesn't have a neck. It's just his bottom jaw is his collarbone, and then the top just opens like a garbage can lid. Which, given his breath, I guess, makes sense? Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It's Sunday night, and you know what that means. It's time for Phobies viewer games. And as of right now, we got a decent number in the hopper. A few duplicates, but including some new and newer people. So it's good to see new faces coming in. I do need to do a better job at like advertising the viewer games. I gotta post it. Like, I've been really lazy about it, and I have some stuff going live next week that will hopefully help increase visibility. Of course, if you wanted to submit your own viewer games, you can just hit up the Random Sauce Discord. The link for that will, of course, be in the description. Or if you're watching this in a live stream, we do stream this weekly on Twitch. ! Discord in the chat. I don't know. We'll see. I go through these bouts where it's like, yeah, I really should put more effort into this. And then I go through bouts where it's just like, I don't know. We shall see. But enough of that. Enough of that, chat. I do have something more important to let everybody know, and that is that I am part of the content affiliate program. That means the Phobies team does, in fact, give me coffee for producing Phobies content. In fact, I just sent the email for October, which I know it's not over yet. It will be by the time this goes live, or is shortly to be over. Happy Halloween in advance. And, yeah, I just sent the email to get the next round of coffee. I still haven't done a pack opening video. I wonder if I should wait until I get 1 million coffee. That would take a long time. A very long time. But we'll see. We'll see. Either way, we're jumping in, and we've got M453. The first 452. Not good enough. Player was 40-plus levels ahead of me. Well, we're going to see what happens here. So... yes, I'm intentionally turning the camera off before people on the VOD start freaking out, because people get very upset about these things. People get very upset that I stream upside down. Like, and not, you know, like, sometimes people are legitimately upset, it seems like. I mean, it's the internet, so intonation's difficult, but, you know, it seems weird. Anyway, let's turn the camera back on. I want to take my sweatshirt off. So, let's see the levels here. We got... level 14. Level 9. I mean, they have a level advantage on you, but it doesn't seem... I mean, the 10 to... or 14 to 10 is kind of big, but, like, doesn't seem insurmountable yet. So, I will say, two things. One, shout out to new players, again, hitting up the viewer games. Three things, actually. Two is... there has been a recent discussion, actually specifically mentioning this map, Rush Hour, and how it's terrible. There was some changes made to Floor's Lava, I think was what people were saying. I'm trying to remember. I do hope that the devs revisit some of these maps, or just, like, just retire them. At a certain point, like, could we salvage Rush Hour? Yeah, I fully believe that we could make these things work. But who cares? Like, do we need Rush Hour? Is that, like, it's different from the Phobie, where, like, to me, the maps are a big deal. They are one of the two major game pieces, right? Like, you have to have Phobies, and you have to have maps to play on. But people are naturally going to be more attached to the Phobies. Who gives a damn? Like, if push comes to shove, I would say fix the map if it is an option. But if it is going to be, like, a man-hours issue... just ditch the map. Who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. Just let it go. Wait, do you? Could you not have meatballed the Moly Bully to kill it? I guess maybe not, given the level differential. So the third thing that I was going to bring up is our hero's name made me think of Warhammer 40k, because their notation is like M 40 whatever, because it's supposed to be Millennium 40, hence Warhammer 40,000, like the 41st millennium, or M41 year whatever, which is an interesting notation. I do, obviously, I don't plan on being around for that. I've joked about it before, but like, I don't even want to be around that long. I just don't. But it's going to be interesting if humanity does do something like that. Like, at what point is it 5 digits? Like, is 5 digits where it becomes too cumbersome to reasonably... I mean, for the purpose of longer-term documentation, I can definitely understand it. But, like, is it too cumbersome in the common parlance to just call it, like, 2025, even if it's 50, 20, 25? You know what I mean? Anyway, our hero's kind of just beating up bad guy here. Bad guy and our hero both made some interesting phobie choices. Bad guy more so than our hero. I mean, Stairmasters and Moly Bully are like, I don't know about those guys. I feel like you made some decisions there that are not going to agree. Not going to agree with actually trying to win the game. Now goes Stairmaster. I mean, we're going to get some trades here. Probably. But our hero's coming out ahead on virtually every instance. I'm a little dehydrated, chap. Alright, so how does bad guy respond? Because they're basically out of this game. Like, I'm not going to lie. They lost this game 3 turns ago. And they are not doing anything to... What? Was that a misclick? Why did you hit this if you're not going to kill it? And why did you tag this twice if it's on the... I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one, Chief. Also, leaving everything in range of the Blasto... What is happening? Like... This cannot be real. Alright, sure. I mean... I, too, sometimes hate the game of Phobies. And I just want to end it as quickly as possible without just surrendering. And I guess this is a way to do it. Like, you have choices, and I guess this was one of them. Moly Bully, huh? Is this where the tide turns? Probably not. By probably not, I mean, we all know where this is going. This game, I mean, I talk about people just getting spanked. But what happened here? And as I was saying, like, the 40 level differential that was mentioned in the notes is notable. Especially depending on what part of your Phobies journey you're on at that given point. You know, if you're Sum of All Fears 3 and there's a 40 level, like, account level difference, that matters, but it does not matter as much as when you're hanging out in heebie-jeebies. Which maybe that's bad guy's plan here. We will give bad guy that they do have the new avatar. It's kind of nice. That's nice. But we're just going through the motions at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our hero hasn't lost a phobia in like 4 turns. Admittedly, well, not even really pressure on. I don't know. I'm trying to find some way that I was talking about this So I was able to cast some major events with one match for a major event for Star Wars Unlimited, and there were some challenges, but the main thing is I was talking to people offline, and they're like, oh, well, what do you do when, it's a really lopsided game, or there's tech difficulties, or there's this, or there's that. And it's like, you can fill the gap. Because often you're not filling like 45 minutes, dude. The surprise flesh crawler, because obviously. I mean, sometimes there are games or situations where it's like, yeah, you need to stall for a huge amount of time or something. But typically that's not the case. Or, even if a game is really one-sided, it's just like an absolute beating, there's still some things that you can talk about. But sometimes you get games where it's just, yeah, this is an ass whooping. There's really not much to say. GG. So our hero was stress level 50 there. They were 48 at the time of the game, and 98 was bad guy stress level. That's a pretty decent, like I was saying, if you have a 4-level difference in-game, that's really where it matters. All right, game number 1 from chickenraigo, and this might sting a little. The level was highly different, but that doesn't mean that I can't. All right, we're getting all the underdog games today, apparently. I didn't notice the levels. Although I did notice our hero is stress level 40, so I was looking in that general area. Interesting. Bad guy just went 3. Didn't put out a 1 key. So I could get the Sabian online. Okay. Sure. We'll just claim 0 panic points as first player. Totally normal. Admittedly, our hero couldn't easily claim the ones in the center, but yeah, Cassowary claims the side. Get the Ray Chargels in line. Advantage hero. I keep playing with this Burger King transformer from years ago. This guy, I forgot his name, but like he literally transforms into a cheeseburger. Problem is that it's so old that like you can't really hear it, or I hope you can't hear it. It's like nails on a chalkboard when you move his legs. So he turns into a cheeseburger. I don't know what his name is. It's just one of the things I happen to have it on my desk. And then, like, the more modern one, I forgot this guy's name, too, but he turns into french fries. Or nachos, rather, not french fries. With ketchup on it, I guess, which is like, who puts ketchup on nachos? What's wrong with you? I don't really understand ketchup at all. Like, it's fine, but I'm not putting ketchup on anything unless I need to mask the taste of the other thing completely. Maybe that's just me. Gotta put it over my face so it doesn't disappear. These were bots, I believe, or the nacho guy. The other one, like I said, was like a Happy Meal toy or something. Goon! Why the hell do we have primate? Dude, what is going on? What are we doing here right now? We're getting our snowball beat this shit is what we're doing. That seems like an error. It does pull the 2 undeads into the corner, so if you value the tempo for 3 keys, but you're not really, like... You're not meaningfully advancing your board state here. Ah, excuse me. Just making some notes here. Well, Octonauty, you like to see that. Yeah, that's what we want to see. A little displacement. I feel like Barzilla's spines stick out, like, really far. Also, how bloodshot are his eyes? Like, look at his eyes. They're yellow, but like the back is orangish red. That oh, look at that blom! You'll love to see it. Good shot. Is it a good enough shot? I mean, honestly, it's probably a dead quagmire. Probably. I mean, yes. That would appear to be a dead quagmire. And you threaten the yoink too on the follow-up. Like that's a good play. That's a good play. I like that. Dude, little John Madden is like, when you're able to kill your opponent's phobies and they can't effectively retaliate, that's usually good for you. Like, yeah, you don't say. Do get an okay retaliation here. You're going to get 6 keys for 5. However, you might be able to get the Sabian and the Creep. I think you can get both, probably pretty safely. Just whoop the shit out of the Creep. Oh, by the way, the Yoink is still alive. Ooh, an answering Sabian. Bad guy does... excuse me. Does technically have a key advantage. Bank, anyway, but... on the board, not so much. Pterodactyl's a weird choice, but... Wait, what? I guess we're going with the Hail Mary here. We got High Five coming out. High Five has a weird physical structure. He's like a garbage can lid because he doesn't have a bottom jaw. You know, like, he doesn't have a neck. It's just, his bottom jaw is his collarbone, and then the top just opens like a garbage can lid. Which, given his breath, I guess, makes sense? The old halitosis. Is it Smiley that has halitosis? There's a phobia with halitosis. It's got to be Smiley, right? Blom? No. Ooh, I like that. That's a cool play. In range of the jar that's on the stem. The displacement. This was a really good play. This is a heads up. I'll admit I didn't see that one initially. I wasn't looking for that. I was just looking for the Blom. Sabian does go down, but I mean... I'm not really worried if I'm our hero. If I'm a bad guy, I'm extremely worried. This game is over. I don't understand why he goes on so many more turns, but I imagine bad guy like runs away or some stupid shit. Or our hero somehow drags it out by like going after the heart or something. Huh. I guess it's just a function of... yeah, you have too many melee phobies. Can't get them all on there. I mean, at this stage, technically, this is the correct play. There's nothing your opponent can do to really advance. At least not advance in a way that is going to actually give them a chance at winning the game. Blom. You love to see it when it hits the heart. There's something about it that does feel better when it can connect with the heart like that. I like it. That's kind of cute. Body blocking them out of the easy stim access. Not like it matters, but... Goon, no! Not like this. Doesn't matter. GG. You know what's weird, chap? I just thought of looking at pterodactyl. So, it's obviously the spooky season, right? And every year I say this, but every year I plan on, like, oh, this is the year I'm going to get super into Halloween, and I never do. But that's not what we're talking about. A lot of people have Halloween decorations up, and among them are... Weird noise. Among them are, you know, like, various skeletons. They have the giant 20-foot tall ones. You have, you know, whatever other skeletons, regular skeletons. Various bone things. But what's funny is when you have, like, skeleton dogs or skeleton spiders or skeleton whatever, and, like, some of these creatures don't have bones. Like, that's not the way their bodies are structured. And they certainly don't have bones in the places that you're displaying. You know what I mean? Like, it's clearly... It has to be that way so that you know that it's a spider or a bat or a dog or a cat or a, you know, whatever the creature happens to be. But, like, the next time you see Halloween decorations, you see one of those, like, examine the creature in question and be like, does that thing actually have those bones? Because odds are they do not. I kind of want to make that the intro. It's just weird enough, right? I had a different quote, but maybe I'll use that as the intro. It's like just weird enough. All right, chickenraigo, back at it again. That AoE poison attack was absolutely incredible, so I guess we're getting a bad sheep. Bad sheep came up on the Reddit recently. What? Our hero just not kill their jar? What the fuck? Alright, we were talking about level differentials. Like, okay, what is happening right now? That would be a level differential. Like, okay, what are we doing right now? Also, I was desperately trying to find... Like, I was going to use Lenny, or Benny here, rather, for the thumbnail for a video. And I just couldn't find the image, like the Phobie card. I'm like, where is it? I know I have this. The entire time I was searching for Lenny and not Benny, which we do not have the card of, so I could not do that. What is going on? Are you sure about this line? Well, I guess it pushes him back, but... Also, I can't believe Gravedigger only hit the board now. Like, what is going on? Bad guy standing their ground. Doing this in the wrong order. Missing out on probably a little bit of heals, unless that was for Xaxes, which I doubt. Heebie-jeebie special, because why not? We're gonna walk on, walk off. It's probably not enough damage. It might be, but I doubt it. Sorry, trying not to cough into the mic. Bad guy, sacrifice... They're just trading really inefficiently. Which, I mean, what? Are you sure? What? Why? That one's like a literal head scratcher. Why are we healing the jar? I get it was damaged, but maybe just... I don't know. Of all the decisions that could be made in this game of Phobies, that was in fact one of them. Dude, did you just walk it into its own death anyway? I'm pretty sure they walked the jar into its own death anyway. Like, what are we doing here? I'm getting angry about this now. Like, it's gone from, like, this is silly, to I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed, to now I'm, like, angry. Why is this happening? This should not be happening. Bad guys setting their own baby Snakey on fire. Because they can, I guess. I don't know. Our hero should have leap from cassowary up. I don't know if that's enough to actually get this Snakey. Probably not. Very well played by our hero. Like trying... Ooh, we get a Noxious. That's not a bad sheet. And a Numbskull. Gotta invite him in, and based on bad guys' current propensity for violence inflicted on their own phobies, they might just send everybody into the wood chipper here. Oh, maybe not. Have we learned self-preservation? What did we learn? Not to kill our own phobies. Yeah, exactly. So there is a Clinico on the board, but bad guy and our hero are out of keys. Just gearing up for the push. It is kind of bad guy's game to lose. So you can hit 3 phobies here. Actually, you can hit all of them. What are we doing? Oh my god, bad guy. It's weird, because, like, wait, what? Oh, yeah, you can do it from here. You can do it from here. That's fine. I initially, in my head, was like, oh, bad guy can't get hit by this, because who would offer them up? I'm like, oh, it must only be 3. Like, my brain wouldn't accept that you would let your entire team get hit by Noxious like this. I guess they thought they were baiting our hero in. Which, I mean, given the way Phobies numbers work, there is a degree of uncertainty where you could sit there and calculate it out, especially if you're an async, but sometimes it's just, you know, you just don't care. And then there was one. And there was no hope for bad guy. You got the jar. GG. Well played. Against a seemingly much higher leveled opponent. That was... Ooh. That was a... almost 70 level difference. Just saying. Just saying. Alright, chat. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Alright, chat. We're back. What? I clicked on the wrong thing. Clicked on the wrong window. Alright, we got illi. Illi action. Yeah. Then where's the game? Ooh, we got a long one because we're on Rush Hour. How fitting. First time using 2 Akira abilities plus Sabian. Plus Cupcake, new maybe strong combo. Gotta try in other games, though. I mean, if you Akira your opponent twice, like... I don't know. I wanted to say, like, oh, well, you clearly are winning. But there are situations where you'd Akira multiple times, and it's like because you're trying not to lose sort of thing. But on a stalemate-y, stalemate-ish map like this... you're probably going to get multiple Akira pulls. And the first one might just be essentially like a very involved Moffat play. Also, why did we break this obstacle? Were you planning on the Akira play from this early? Because otherwise, like, why did this happen? I mean, Cupcake, like, Akira, Cupcake, and then any AoE ability. Not to burst your bubble, but, like, yeah, that's been around for a while. Sabian in particular, probably on the newer end, because, you know, Sabian's not... It's been out for a while, but it's still a new-ish phobie. And we all know the woes. It's been a while since I ranted and raved about the acquisition model in Phobies, but we all know what it is at this point, so... I gotta add that to the to-do list. I mean, it's kind of similar to the map discussion, because Cars did post about it in my Discord, which is where you submit your games if you want to get your own game up here. And hear me ultimately talk about completely unrelated topics. I mean, not completely unrelated, but sometimes they're completely unrelated. Carson mentioned about pushing, like, linked a post in my Discord about a push discussing Rush Hour. I was referencing it earlier. And I had said, at this point in the game, like, it's still good to prod the devs and be like, this is something we still want. But I don't know how effective it's going to be. And it is kind of frustrating going through this with another game simultaneously. But, like, it's kind of frustrating when you've been pleading for certain things to happen for an extended period of time, and it's like, okay, here's this, like, breadcrumb response. So, as mentioned, the change to the floor is lava was an example of, oh, well, we got through to the devs, which, okay, let's assume that's true. Great. We need more communication from them on, like, why they're not changing it, why they're not prioritizing other things. I was really hopeful that the change from Smoking Gun to Phobies splitting off was going to lead to a lot of these things. I actually went and looked the other day. We haven't gotten the panic report in, like, 2 months. There wasn't a September, and unless it happens in the next few days, we're not going to get in October. So I don't know why that fell off. We can actually look that up while we're watching this game. YouTube. Panic Report. Apparently there's a band called the Panic Report, which is screwing up my search. I know there's no sound. Admittedly, more effort was going to be put on the release, so maybe they had to, like, pull it back. But we got Panic Report 3 months ago in July. Then we got the August one. But then we didn't get September or October, as far as I could tell. They did get 2,000 views, but to put that in context, any of the updates, you know, like the Masquerade Soiree, Dead or Alive, Rockin' Horrors, the Birthday Bash, etc. The Masquerade Soiree, the most recent update, got 61,000 views on the video. The previous one was 39, then it was 85, and for the birthday, it was 145,000. Now, this is cumulative, so, like, I'd have to run a different report to, like, take a look at it and see which one did better within the same time frame to get a better idea of, like, it's not fair to judge a video that's been out for over a year against a video that's been out for a week or a month, because there's just been more time for people to click on it. And yeah, there's not a long tail for those sort of things, but it does happen where people will go back or new people will come in and they want to go see the whole thing, whatever. But the point is that clearly those things are more exciting to most players. Oh, we're going to get the Akira poll? Those things are typically more exciting to players than Panic Report, which is fine. Not everything needs to be tons and tons of views, because, like, everybody's interested in the new stuff, and it's a shorter thing, so of course there's more views. Like, you know, there's a lot of things to think about. However, I don't really understand what this block was for. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe to free up keys, since like this is the most easily sacrificed phobie because Unicorn can't really get in there quickly, and you don't want to burn Cupcake yet. It's a little weird. It can set up the Akira poles, but like it didn't have to be then. I don't know. There's the Sabian. But yeah, I want to see more communication from the devs, and I think the panic report, because I was thinking about messaging them again and being like, look, I asked for this quarterly and have since before there was a content affiliate program, but like, can we please get some interviews with the devs? I'll give you the answers ahead, or the questions ahead of time. You know, it's kind of like common courtesy, like, don't, when you're doing these sort of things, usually you don't want to spring stuff on people, because that's how you get the devs to be like, fuck you, I'm not coming back. They won't say that, but like, they don't want to get blindsided on something live, and they often would have to vet, like, can we even discuss this? Because you don't want to, like, have a bunch of questions, and they go, we can't answer that, no comment, over and over again. Like, that's miserable. All right, here we go. This is going to be a great Sabian hit. Like, look at this. Called Blammo. We'll end up with some disease on some important phobies, but... Oh wait, no, does Smiley go off after lava? The Smiley lived? That seems less than ideal. I mean, I guess Smiley's not doing it on your opponent's turn, aka our hero's turn, so that was incorrect to begin with, but like... There, in fact, is the disease. Goes off before the lava. For those playing along at home. So, yeah, bottom line is I want to see more stuff from the devs directly. I mean, they have been better overall. Not specific instances necessarily, but like... As always, it just feels like there's more that could be done to try and help out the community. I mean, obviously we want the update, whatever it happens to be. But talking to us and explaining, like, we're not prioritizing maps because we are a smaller studio and we think that this thing is more important and therefore it's getting more time and energy, but we are working on it. It's just not a priority. Is information that the community can react to. Maybe they don't want to tell us that because they think the reaction is going to be bad no matter what, but reaction is not good now when you're not telling us, so like, are we gaining anything by not communicating? I had a feeling the healing spot was going to come in here in order to save the Akira long enough once the Smiley didn't immediately die. Which, bad guy kind of needs to, like, just don't get Akira'd right now. You're not ahead, but you're not behind, as long as you don't die to Akira. And, like, you have a bunch of heart health, so you could stall for a little bit. Now, just don't get Akira'd is nice and all to say. It's way easier said than done. A little Jill and Ted action. Zombies have bones. Usually. The non sequitur of the year. Zombies have bones. Usually, anyway. I'm sure there's a Night of the Living Dead zombie that is boneless. Right, bad guys is kind of under some pressure here. But, like, they didn't make a great effort to avoid this Akira. They could have played a little more defensively. The problem is if they had played it even more defensively, they probably give up a 5-0 panic point advantage, and then they just die before they can get back in the game. So I guess their hope was just our hero couldn't do something. I think what they needed to do, given that bees is the only AoE, is like pick a side, top or bottom, and kind of deathball it and just hope that you can overwhelm our hero. Probably go top, and then be like, okay, you want a Kira pull? Well, my whole team is there. And then it also might push our hero away so that you can they could try and reclaim some panic points. But either way, I think the damage is done at this point. Notably, Akira can still actually connect right now for an AoE. It's clearly not long for this world. Can you kill this Klepto? If you do, the game is like 100% over. Ooh, not enough. Close, but no cigar. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Our hero's just got too much stuff. Too much stuff, too many numbers. Bad guy hanging in there till the bitter last. So, GG. I did have a thought that was kind of triggered by this game. That goes with the whole map discussion. So here's the thing. It would not surprise me if the devs said, well, we're not changing these maps, or we're not eliminating the stalling gameplay loops, because some players like it. Because I guarantee you, there are people who've said it. They like those, and if you like it, hit me up in the comments. But there are definitely people out there, 100%, that love that games get dragged out. You could argue why, or whether it makes sense or whatever, but who cares? It doesn't matter. They like it. It's fine. I think it's also safe to say that the majority of the player base does not enjoy that sort of gameplay. Certainly not all the time. Maybe once in a blue moon, like, oh yeah, I had this really long game and it was really involved and whatever. And it's usually not because, oh, stalling. It's because it was just a very complex game, like very well played on both sides, so it was close. So maybe a better way to describe it is players like close games, but we're digressing. If you're familiar with the current state of Magic the Gathering, and this will make sense hopefully in a minute, Magic is not what the game used to be. In terms of the original and primary for many years of the game, way of playing would be 1v1. Multiplayer games happened like 3 or more players, but it was fewer and far between. It was often just super casual stuff, and it'd be like, hey, we got a bunch of people coming over, we'll just play a big game. And then Elder Dragon Highlander, which eventually became Commander, existed, and then eventually took over as the dominant multiplayer format. Eventually, Wizards of the Coast, the people who make Magic the Gathering, realized that they can make more money by catering product to that group than the original group that was playing the game the way it was intended to be played 1v1 competitively. As a result, design emphasis has shifted, and the game itself has morphed, because basically Magic the Gathering is Commander now. You can certainly play 1v1, but they've kind of flipped roles where the 1v1 part is almost vestigial. So what does this have to do with phobies? If we compare it to those long, plodding, stalling games, there's clearly a subset of players that enjoy that. The issue is similar to the 1v1 versus multiplayer stuff that works in 1v1 does not typically work in multiplayer and vice versa because they require different elements. Instead of, oh, I'm trying to rush you down and end the game as quickly as possible, and the target is 20, because that's the normal life total. Now it's 60, because you have 3 other opponents. And even then, like, your stuff will probably be weaker, because if you focus down one person, the other 2 people can basically do whatever they want the entire time. Similarly, in Phobies, if you're trying to design and create these stallish or stalling scenarios, slower games, I'm saying stall, but don't take it as we're trying to induce stalemates. It's just, if you want these longer game states, in order to achieve that, you need things that are powerful enough to drag the game out, or the map is designed to account for that and allow for it. There's clearly maps that are better at this and other maps that are better at rushing. Is it okay to tell one group of players, either it's the minority group that wants the longer games or the majority group that wants, maybe not quick games or meaningless ones, but like faster games? Is it okay to tell either group to go fuck themselves, to put it bluntly? Because you do kind of have to skew one way or the other. And if you're going to say, well, we want quicker games, you bring the average game length down by modifying maps, by changing phobia abilities, changing heart health, changing panic points, whatever. And there is you can have your cake and eat it too, to a degree. Like, you don't have to completely skip one or the other and completely, like, the hell with you guys, we're helping them. You can do both. But you can only do both to a certain degree. And there is an element of like, well, what do the whales think? Because that's how mobile games work. I don't know. Oh, my throat is very dry. That's kind of it. I don't really have a good segue out of this. It boils down to, like, if you were in their shoes and you want if you want one of these changes to happen, you were in their shoes, which would you pick? I think most people are going to default to go with what more players think, and we don't know what the skew is. Like, I'm assuming the majority of players want shorter games. Like, they don't want the stall games, not necessarily that they want short games. Like, you have to be very precise, so don't, like, read into any particular thing. I'm just speaking in generalities here. But that may not be true, or it might be a 51-49 divide. It could be a 90-10 divide. I don't know. It's a tough thing as a game designer. But anyway, let's get into the next game. Rush Hour again, because fuck my life. Everybody loves this map. Brute Wars moment. Powerful line attack by opponent. Good game. All right. Well, it's 26 turns. Not quite as long. There is also a element of... there is also an element of... a game can feel different. Like, it could feel like a high-impact, high-velocity game that is 40 turns, or it could feel like a really stagnating 12 turns. And then end unsatisfying and satisfyingly, given what the board state may or may not be. Personally, to answer my own question from earlier, if I was in their position, I'd just axe these maps. Like, what was the one that went away? It had like this corner to that corner divide. And it was kind of on this tile set. Agora. Like, Agora just disappeared. And I've talked about it before. I remember having games on it where I literally, I effectively surrendered the game because I just sent my entire team into theirs because we were in a stalemate, and all we were doing every turn was I move this way, you move the other way, and then I move back, and then you move the original way, so that way we never interact. And it was going to be whoever moved in first lost. I'm like, I don't even care. I just don't even want this on my profile anymore. I'd rather queue up another async game. So I just sent my team in and let them die because I didn't care. Now, we probably should not have ended up in that state because I don't remember if I had Akira by that point. But, you know, like, that's where stuff like Akira and Russell are supposed to prevent those things because obviously it forces the other player to do something. And I do wonder if you can't get away from true global abilities for that reason. Because at some point, it is possible in a normal game to set up those sort of stalematey scenarios. Usually through player error, but people are human. They're going to make mistakes. And then this allows you to remedy it. There's our Brute Wurst alongside Paddles. Almost said Zappy. It does kind of zap you. Getting the long build-up. We had a lot of rambling tonight, Chad. Not a lot of commentary on the actual games, which it happens. I do encourage everybody to check out the other videos that are going up this week. They're already up by the time this video goes live on YouTube. They're not up if you're watching this on Twitch right now. I'm trying out... It's a new, old concept. It's close to trivial effort to do these videos. It's just something I have to remember to do, so I just put it on... Like, I'm going to put on my to-do list that I have hanging over here. Brute Wurst getting ready. Along with the poison trap. Kind of adorable. Bad guy banking to 14 keys, because why not? I do like the Bachelor sneaking in here and capping this panic point. It's going to force bad guy to, like, you got to respect multiple things. Which isn't... It's not that big of a deal. They can obviously just do this, but it does split the daisy off, so now you can... Okay, now I can reclaim the center, and I have the Brute Wurst in position, so, like... You have to honor multiple threats, but we'll see what our hero does here, because you don't have a sacrificial... Excuse me, a sacrificial phobie in order to just claim that panic point. Oh, we got a plaid. And blue. We love when blue shows up. Look at this string on blue. I like the way that it doesn't just hang down straight. Like, it looks like it's laying on the obstacle. That makes me... I don't know why I like that. No, it looks like, oh, this is a floating balloon, but it's not, like, floating super high up by the ceiling. It's, like, floating around, you know, like, chest height or waist height, and it's just resting on whatever's nearby. Here we go! That's gonna catch so much! Dude, what was bad guy thinking? Why? I mean, you do have 2 resurrects, but, like, this was wildly unnecessary. Ginseng D-E-D dead. Notably, blue does have the string lay like that no matter where he is, which I figured, but it would have been cool if, like, it was straight up and down when he was on spaces, but then the game knew that he was on top of an obstacle, so it would lay differently. Like, that would be kind of cool. Like a nice little Easter egg. That's a little too much animation effort for that, though. I can understand why they didn't do it. Brute War's going to pay for its sins. And sinned it has. At least from bad guy's perspective. Ooh, losing a lot there, but I mean, the puff is going to go down eventually, and these resurrect phobies are going to be softened up. We're going to probably lose the oopsie baby here as well. By probably, I mean, they will. Even get the snowball on the takedown, and thanks to the 3 movement, 3 movement is just so broken. I wonder if we're going to get phobies that change their behavior based on the order of action. So, like, let's say you attack and then move with Plaid. What if its movement decreased to 3? So, like, it has 3 movement if you're going in, and it would have to be, like, if your first action this turn is with that phobie is move. Really? You went out of your way to kill blue? Alright, whatever. So like if your first action with Plaid on the turn, is a move, it has 3 move. But if it's second action on the turn, it gets, or subsequent actions, it gets -1 movement. And maybe vice versa, where they get a damage debuff or buff, depending on what you do first. The idea is to encourage, like, oh, well, you can move really far to attack, but you can't attack and retreat as safely. I think that is probably more complex than Phobies wants to be. You know, like, the Phobies are what the Phobies are what the Phobies are. They do whatever they do, and they always do the same thing. For the most part, I don't think there's any exceptions. So something like that would probably cross the Rubicon of complexity. Our hero pulled, compared to bad guy from a few games ago, or a couple games ago, our hero pulled all the way back to stay super safe here. They are just letting this disease do its work. And this cupcake is not, like, I guess they want to set up a bomb? I don't know. You are not getting this Plaid. But at least bad guys trying to make moves, they could have just, like, hidden around the map. Like we've seen so many people do. Cowbell. Sure. I was wondering what they were going to target with this, because, again, it's a Plaid on a healing spot. You're probably not getting it, but I don't know that killing the cowbell matters either. Oof. Oof size large. I thought you were going to kill him with a halfie. While I appreciate setting up the paddles there, maybe it would have made more sense to, like, have the paddles next to something else so we could zap it to move. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. 6 of one, half dozen the other. Bad guy cooked. One might even say French fried, given that its Spud is the final phobie. Got him. GG. Alright. What do we got? We should only have like one more, I think. Oh no, we got 2 more. Shouldn't have got out of the profile. We got another dearh game. This one. dearh once again. This time on last rights. Surprise attack straight out of the vault. Gotta love a little jump scare action. Sirfetcho, bad guy here. Been around for a while. Featured their games, certainly at least as bad guy before. I kind of want to go get more water chat, but we only have one more game, so it's like... We just get it afterwards. I don't want to start the work week, chat. Not that anybody does. When are we getting them 3-day work weekends? 3-day weekends, 3-day work weekends? That doesn't make any sense. Every time I go on a drive and I see a billboard for the lottery, I'm like, I'm not going to win. $700 million sounds nice. Or like whatever it's at. $1 billion. There have been a few of those. I'll just take a few of those millions. I don't need all of them. Slap. Interesting that we're going for the slap, but not diseasing anything to kill it. Noxious follow-up, alright. Repeller. Haven't seen that in a very long time, which, I gotta be honest, I don't really miss it. Interesting play here by bad guy. The positioning is weird, because, like, can't you just move up and kill their cowbell? Which didn't have to happen. And, well, specifically, you can move up, slap their cowbell, kill it, and reclaim the panic point. Maybe the numbers don't work, and this was safer than I think. That would appear to be the case, given our hero didn't advance. You know what game I missed, chat? Primal Rage. Dinosaur fighting game. There was a sequel that I never played. I watched some videos on it, like history of the game sort of thing. I hate their control system, but it was really cool. It was supposed to be like one of the 50,000 quote-unquote Mortal Kombat clones, but their gimmick was that all their guys were claymation, which is part of the reason why the game didn't do so well, because it was like impossible to make. It took like a gazillion hours, because stop-motion animation is insane, like the effort level. But they had fatalities and stuff, and then there were, I think there were 7 or 9 playable characters. Like they had a blue gorilla, a red gorilla, a velociraptor, a cobra Dilophosaurus sort of thing, like Jurassic Park Dilophosaurus, not a real Dilophosaurus. A T-Rex, a like fire T-Rex, although you could call it an Allosaurus. It was basically just a shrunken down, recolor the model, I think. And then there might be one other guy that I can't remember. It was a cool game. It's a cool game. There's so many games that I wish they would just remake or re-release, in terms of like, just let me play it online. I would love to play some of these games online. Primal Rage's big thing is I think they leaned into like baseline negative edge and like weird input movements, so it made it like more challenging to play compared to the more standard Street Fighter-esque setup. I know we're digressing, getting off topic. We're just kind of waiting for the big moment here. We got a Shove Shark, we got the Cupcake, we got the Noxious. I think we all know where this one is going to end up, sooner or later. Ooh, Raucous, matching... No, not matching the avatar. It was on the game, I think, was the Raucous avatar. I feel like there was a quadrupedal dinosaur that was in the game. Like a Stegosaurus or something like that. Dead bow? Dead bow. Boop. This is kind of what I thought our hero was trying to avoid. Also, by the way, bad guy has 9 keys while our hero has 20. Hashtag just saying. Could get a big Raucous AoE hit, although I don't know that that's very good. Can you Shove Shark Raucous? I'm pretty sure you can't, right? Like, it doesn't care that... Yeah, it doesn't care Whether it's a friendly ability or not. Ooh, Gravedigger. Breaking a block. Is this the jump scare from the vault? Oh my god. Dude, if I'm bad guy, I am so pissed right now. I'm livid if I'm bad guy right now. Could you have sorry, I had to cough there. Could you have instead shoved the Noxious up to get, like, you move there, you push, then you would have gotten a multi-hit on whatever died in front of the Hevo 2.0 and Hevo. Obviously, the poison wouldn't have mattered. It's Hevo, but I wonder. Probably 6 of one, half dozen the other for this. I mean, you kind of had the game in the bag. It's like, you've activated my trap card. Hevo Plaid 3.0 deals bonus damage to mechanical phobies thanks to its electrical attack. I don't think Plaid should exist. I'm just saying. I don't think Plaid should exist. I understand that it's a more niche phobie. Obviously, the whole electrical damage thing, but, like, think about all the complaining people do about Hevo 2.0. And, I mean, our hero could have set that play up thanks to, like, there's some things that could happen with Evo. Like, you know, you push the Evo, you boop, you do the AoE. I don't know. Why does it smell like waffles? Am I having a stroke? It seriously smells like my wife is making waffles. Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, the Zappy kind of hurts because of the reflect, but still. Oh, man. I mean, like we said, this game was over the second the jump scare happened. I don't think that play should exist. Not specifically just the Hevo thing, but, like, I don't think it should be possible to jump scare somebody on a large map. I just don't. I don't know that it's avoidable on small maps. Well, it's avoidable, but, you know, like, it would probably constrict a lot of things on map design. But it kind of feels like you should... One of the base rules for maps is your vault should always be minimum 4 spaces away from whatever the action zone is defined on the map. So that it's not... If you want to jump scare somebody in that way, you have to have Phantom. You have to have Shove Shark. You have to have Akira. You have to have, you know, something like that, a Zappy. And then it's like, okay, well, at least you put the effort in. I feel like that, as it was, should not be a viable line of, oh, I'm contesting the middle of the map. As bad guy, I'm saying. I'm contesting the middle of the map, and therefore I am vulnerable to something from their vault, just annihilating my entire team. Now, you could always say, like, well, bad guy, you should have known that this could happen, because, like, it's possible, and you're at a high enough level to both know better and be aware of those particular phobies, not necessarily from this person's collection, but, like, in general. I don't know. I feel like that shouldn't happen. It was a cool play. And I will say, like, from a viewer perspective, it's like, if we didn't know it was coming, it's like, oh my god, how did he do this? Or, like, it's just a big blowout, exciting thing. But I think from a gameplay perspective, it's fucking miserable. I don't know. All right, back on Last Right's last game of the evening as well. Succubusaloo I am back. Straight up heart rush averted. Well, welcome back. Hope the hiatus was restful. I don't remember when you had stopped playing. I do remember it dropping off because Succubus used to submit a lot of games, but the game may or may not have changed in dramatic ways since you last ventured into the realm of Phobies. You know, I will say the devs... I remember way back when we got the first update, full disclosure, the Alien update. It's like, okay, well, this is kind of like out there. No pun intended. Like, wasn't what I was expecting. And we were trying to predict, like, oh, well, what's the next update going to be? And every update after that, people are predicting like, the theme of the update. And I will say the devs have done a very good job of really mixing it up as far as, like, the most recent one we got, the Mass Soiree. That is a kind of horror theme. You know, famously, in a lot of movies and stories, Dracula or some other vampire will host, like, a masquerade ball, and then the main characters have to, you know, one of them gets abducted by the vampires, and then you have to go save them or whatever. Or, you know, you have, like, the Phantom of the Opera. You have a number of these stories that kind of relate to the masquerade ball sort of theme. And I definitely get it, but, like, I never would have predicted that that was going to be the update theme. And I think it's pretty cool that they did do that, and they have continued to do that. Like, maybe everybody out there knew that was going to be a thing, like, saw it coming a million miles away, but I feel that for the most of the updates, they have been on target as far as, you know, yeah, this is on brand. It makes sense. What is happening right now? Really? That is a bold move, Cotton. I mean, I get it. The Sparky threatens the Hevo, and there isn't really enough damage on board. Maybe I'm just thinking of the jump scares, but, like, that Sparky... Okay, so the difference between this jump scare and the previous one is I feel that part of this is, like, there's obviously this center line. And, like, okay, now you're on our hero's side as opposed to being on your side. However, and it becomes a question of, like, is this a meaningful distinction? They're like, oh, you're on my half, so now you're vulnerable. You're overextended. Especially given the geometry of any particular map. Like, some of them are more narrow than they are wide or whatever. Like, this map is kind of taller than it is wide. I don't know if it actually is, but it's kind of the way it's laid out. So, like, is this a safe jump scare if our hero just plops out 2 Phobies and annihilates this Sparky? Part of me says yes, because it's like, you invaded, but is this spot where Sparky is intended to be unsafe? And where, because I'm sure there's another map where you could have a similar setup and be like, no, that spot should be safe because XYZ. This feels like, yeah, you brought this on yourself because bad guy invaded, but maybe that's not sufficient? I don't know. Ooh, the glob. That's a pretty good way to defend. Honestly, I feel like bad guy's aggression is already broken, but if they body block out, like, if they're able to protect this werewolf, is the thing. And that, yep, there you go. Now, our hero can just plop a gravedigger. Ooh, the snipe on the Inoculus. You don't love that. Alright, this was looking a lot better a few seconds ago. This was looking a lot better just mere moments ago. Yeah, I mean, this was going to happen. Now the question is, is there any way to kill the gravedigger before? Nope. Just gonna go for it. I was gonna say try and kill the gravedigger so that you can push the glob right up against the werewolf, but I mean you could just eat it and then they're gonna have to retreat next turn anyway. So far pretty well defended. I mean the bad guy turn looked threatening. The first one wasn't great, like the invade, but the follow-up turn looked kind of decent. However, it's not quite enough here. Is this glob dead somehow? Half health. I mean, it is in range of a bunch of stuff, so some bad things could start happening. But I think there's several picks already presenting themselves for our hero. Question is, which ones do they want to go for? She can't get everything. Obviously, that's happening. I think this is reasonable. You got to get Sparky off the doorstep. Alright, so we're going to elect to go for the creep rather than the jar, which I think makes sense. Gravedigger will end up dying, most likely. The electric cat down there is a little odd. I think Snowball could have just cleaned up the droney. This does free up Snowball to just go snipe the jar, though. Because then you can use the electric cat to shoo away the droney. I wonder, I don't even know if the glob can necessarily kill the werewolf. One thing I'll add to the jump scare discussion is that kind of tying it to the stall map dissertation is that if you prevent the jump scares, you're going by like elongating the distance from the vault to the actual gameplay area. It does like inherently cause, like it could drag out games. It shouldn't, because then any mistake you make on the board means that your opponent now has the opportunity to capitalize on it, or vice versa. You know, like, you can't just reinforce as easily, thereby reestablishing the stalemate. So, it kind of all depends on, like, what the specifics for the maps are. Dude, Blinky is thick. That's so many attacks. Panic point advantage back to our hero. Ooh, a little dial action. That's going to slow down the werewolf, at least hypothetically. 0 keys to 0 keys. I mean, bad guy would have to thread the needle here, and I just don't think it's doable. They got too many melee phobies to even, like, materially have a competent offense. And there it is. Power down the old werewolf. It's so sad. You see it move up, and, like, you're just gonna be able to walk away and hit it. Very well defended. Very well defended. Bad guy made a valiant effort, but it was not to be. Slap. They do get the jar on the way out, but good boy, not long for this world. I love the sound effect for so many phobies, but I think Hevo is very appropriate. It's also very cartoony at the same time, so it makes me happy. It makes me think about Looney Tunes. GG, well played. All right, chat. That's everything for this evening. We will be back post-Halloween. See what people are cooking up over the holiday. Hopefully everybody has an enjoyable and safe holiday. Maybe you'll be playing Phobies instead of trick-or-treating, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But that is going to do it for this evening. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And tune in next time for more Random's Thoughts.